for number 3. But question number 3 is, what should be the Blazers' top priority this offseason?
Go ahead.
To me, it's finding outside shooting, because to me, there's no move in sight or even domino effect of moves in sight that will make the Blazers a contender next season.
Right.
So you're looking, once again, you're looking for progress, for improvement, so that you can say, all right, that's done with, we're now one step closer to possibly contending. And to me, you have to find outside shooting. That was apparent in the series against the Pelicans. The Pelicans let anyone not named Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, take as many open shots as they want in that series. And outside of Al-Farouq Aminu in games 2 through 4, no one else stepped up for the Blazers. And it's not necessarily to any fault of their own. That's just not their skill set.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you need to fix that before. That, to me, is a priority ahead of re-signing anyone currently on the roster available to free agency, is addressing that need. You need to find some shooting, and you need to finally find some help for C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard.
When you saw, during the 13-game winning streak, what was working is you had Al-Farouq Aminu and Maurice Harkless both hitting three-pointers.
Exactly.
And when you've got Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum in the starting lineup and teams are focusing their defenses to stop them, open three-pointers are not a bad thing, but you have to have guys who are going to hit enough of those open three-pointers to make the defense second-guess their strategy. And right now the Blazers don't have a single player outside of Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum that defenses are going to rotate to when they're open at the three-point line. And so then they're able to double-team Lillard and McCollum at will. They're able to pack the paint, and that takes away the biggest strengths of the Blazers' offense, so their offense really struggles when that happens. And I don't know if you can I think that Aminu showed enough this past season with his consistency that maybe you can count on him to be that kind of release valve. But they need more than just one. And in that starting lineup, when you've got a guy like Evan Turner in the starting lineup who's going to make 30% of his open threes, and you've got a guy like Yusuf Nurkic who's not even going to shoot a three and isn't an outside threat, then that offense is going to get bogged down. So they need not just outside shooters, guys who can make three-pointers, but they need guys who other teams and defenses consider outside shooting threats, that when they're open at the three-point line, the defense is going to rotate out to them, run out to them to challenge that shot because they fear what they can do. And right now the Blazers don't have any players on the roster that fit that mold other than Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum.
Shout out to Al-Farouq Aminu. My apologies.
2 weeks late on this one.
I doubted you, especially after Game 2. I thought he should have been sitting on the bench, and he came through for the Blazers. He contributed. I mean, he was big time. He was reliable, and I doubted that in him. So my apologies to the Chief. I was wrong.
There you go.
But yeah, I think what you guys are saying is right. I put 2 answers on this question. Number 1 was outside shooting.
Yeah.
They were exposed. They need somebody who can consistently knock down the three and be an offensive threat. Yeah. Because we saw Maurice Harkless shoot 40%, which was nice.
Yeah.
But you need him out there all the time.
And also you need him to not shoot 20% the first half of the season and 60% the second half of the season. You need consistency.
And that's the key word in all of this. They need to find somebody. And I'm surprised that you didn't have more of a humble brag on Mirotic. I mean, because you were strong for Mirotic.
I still feel that way.
Yeah, and I mean, it was like a slap in the face to the Portland Trailblazers. If he was truly, an option.
Yeah.
To see him do what he did in that series, I thought he made such a huge difference. He defended better than I thought he could.
Yep.
So it was interesting just seeing how these pieces come together, to see that the Pelicans were willing to take a chance on a player like him, and to see someone like that deliver. Yep. And it shows you what the Blazers could have, would have, should have done.
And what they haven't done.
Yeah, exactly. That's what,
for a couple years now.
Yes. What Jared just said hit it on the nail. What the front office hasn't done in terms of making big moves. Like Yusuf Nurkic ended up being a big move, but it really wasn't. You were just trading You're just trading Mason Plumlee for a project and a first-round pick.
But it was a good move.
It was a good move.
It got you into the playoffs.
But what you're looking for are very impactful impactful moves.
Right.
And moves that when you make them, you know that there's going to be a reaction, a strong reaction on both sides from the fan base. You need to take risks at this point.
You needed that this year.
Exactly.
You needed that Nurkic deal
and
again.
the Pelicans took that risk. Granted, their backs were up against the wall when DeMarcus Cousins went down, but instead of using it as an excuse, they went out and got a player who helped them win a series against a team who the Blazers arguably are just as talented as the Pelicans, but they weren't competitive. And it's in part because of getting guys like Nikola Mirotic who are difference makers.
And that's the irony or the sad part about it is it was right in front of your face. And you got served proper. And that's the bummer about it. The second part to the answer of this is I think you need to take care of Ed Davis. I think Ed Davis needs to be a done deal. As soon as, June, the end of June comes around, beginning of July comes around, sign him, lock him up. He wants to be here. It shouldn't break the bank to sign this guy. He's a key part to the locker room, and he's a player that does things that not everyone can do. You need a guy like that, and he doesn't demand the ball. I mean, this is just a nice fit, and if you want to take the next step in being a successful team, you need players like Ed Davis on your roster.
Before we quickly get to Rip It, your top priority of current Blazers who are on the free agent market, who's number one that you want back in Portland next year?
Of their four free agents,
Ed
Davis.
I agree.
Ed Davis.
I think that says a lot.
Yep, that's priority right there, man.